We should do what newsreaders do and do that.
Blue.
Okay, go. Hello and welcome to In Review, where we interview debut directors on their up-and-coming success. Today we'll be joined by a co-director of the new short film Return to Me, Libby Harris. How are you, Libby?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Good. Now, your production company, Blue Moon Productions, is a fairly new company, correct?
Yeah.
And your debut short film is a war drama.
In some aspects, yes. Our film follows conventions of typical war films. However, we decided to focus on the woman's perspective rather than the action happening in the trenches.
I see. Which is quite a refreshing perspective for a war film. It usually focuses on the man. And did you worry that you'd not have a target audience by focusing at women at home?
Well, we believe that the romantic aspect of the film is likely to attract women, and the vast growth in popularity in period dramas has increased dramatically. In the past few years, with programmes such as Downton Abbey and Land Girls gaining extraordinary ratings, and as it's a war film anyway, men would still be interested.
Yeah, which is very true, and your film does contain an element of like a burst of violence from the man's perspective, but the jury period drama stereotype appears to have disappeared now. But what inspired you to make a short film based on the events of war? Did you not worry that you wouldn't be able to cram in such a whirlwind of tragedy in such short screen time?
Well, that's why we used the parallel scene showing both the female and male lead simultaneously struggling with war. We felt that if we focused on them separately, the female's journey would have been undermined by the fierce violence in the trenches. So by pairing the screens side by side and showing them doing separate and similar acts, we were able to capture the chaos of war for both characters in a short amount of time.
Now, when I watched the film, I didn't even realise that there was no dialogue on it. I was too engrossed in the female character's journey. And is there a particular reason you decided not to use dialogue? Did you want to focus on something different?
Well, we wanted to focus entirely on what the characters did rather than what they said. Music played a big part in the development in each character.
It sort of led us through the film.
Yeah, exactly. Music can alter the tone of the film dramatically, and we feel that this is particularly apparent in short films, as the plot of a short film often changes very quickly. This music can also help ease the abruptness of the change and aid the storyline's progression by subliminally indicating the tone of a current scene before anything happens. For example, we use calm, unsuspecting music when she's sat in the kitchen reading and washing up. And then the music begins to reach a climax. She comes across the posters implying something's going to happen, and this then sets the tone for the events that are to follow.
Very clever. It appears you thought through every aspect of the film down to the last detail. Where did you even find the music for the film?
Well, we researched music from the time at the start, so we had an indication for the introduction to the film, which helps set the tone, and then we used different resources to find the music, so a lot of it was found online through free sites, and being royalty-free was another major thing.
Yeah, which is very common of short films because you've got such a short budget and you need to spend the money where it really matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, with you being a new production company, how did you go about promoting the film?
Well, when we set out to create our first radio trailer, our main purpose was to advertise, so we used voiceovers and sound effects to establish the tone of the film and the key plots, key plot points, in order to let our audience know what it was about and when it was set. However, we wanted to do more than just advertise the film, we wanted to entice our audience.
Well, yeah, I remember hearing the Neville Chamberlain speech in your radio trailer, which kind of made me automatically think that it was going to be a period drama.
Yeah, we were eager to put across clearly the time period to emphasise to the audience it is not simply a love story set in modern day, using snippets of sound from a film in the trailer also let us define the genre. Due to the length of the time the trailer is, it was imperative that we include as much captivating information as possible. So, as there was no dialogue in the film, we decided that it was necessary to include a voiceover so our audience could identify to our characters and understand the relationship between them. We used some of the music in our film, as most other trailers do. So we used the 1940s war bit from the beginning.
Set the tone.
Yeah, it sets, and it becomes a theme to the lover's journey, which is a common trait of a film, having a score or a soundtrack. However, during our research, we found this to be less common amongst short films, so we decided to incorporate as much of the emotional music into the film and the trailer, so that when our audience heard it, they would associate it between the two and make a link.
Often listeners associate the music they hear in a trailer with the genre of the film. Did you not worry that the use of emotive music would cause listeners to lose interest?
Well, we thought that at first, so we added in the sound effects, so there was things such as the rain and the gunshots, which maintain the audience's interest. And we did take into consideration the excessive use of emotional music and calm dialogue would result in the audience becoming less intrigued. So the explosions helped with keeping people interested.
Keeping people interested. Yeah. I see. Now, of course, a radio trailer is an extremely useful way of promoting a film, but what other promotional materials did you use?
Well, we decided to use a magazine review because a lot of film buffs will read magazines such as Empire and Now Film and stuff. So we thought this was a good source of publicity for the film, especially as we're a new company. The publicity would help, and it allowed our potential audience to read a critical analysis of the film to give them an idea whether or not they wanted to view it. And it also contains a body of text such as verdicts and star ratings, which they appear to take into consideration. Like, even if they don't read the whole thing, they will immediately look at the verdicts and
sort
stars.
of get an idea of what that film's like.
Exactly.
They're also very eye-catching too. I mean, you lose the visual element with the radio trailer. You know, no one can see it. All they're going on is by what they can hear. And a magazine review will give more people detail regarding like the cast and the plot development, and obviously someone else's critical perspectives is going to help you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So we felt that by promoting through two different media forms, we were appealing to both younger and older audiences, because more than likely the radio trailer is going to be listened to by adults because they'll be in work
in the
or
car,
or even cooking in the kitchen or something. And then the magazine review is going to be a lot more accessible to teenagers because they can buy it, or they can even view it through apps and social media.
Yeah, because everything's online now.
A lot of stuff, even a lot of magazines do digital promotion for themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope that the release of your film goes very well and it's a big success, and we hope to see more films coming from your production company soon. I've been your host, Rhiannon, and join us next week in Review.